From the Epic of Gilgamesh, translated by N.K. Sanders. About the reading. The Epic of Gilgamesh is the world's oldest epic, first recorded, carved on stone tablets in about 2000 BC. The actual Gilgamesh, ruler of the city of Uruk, had lived about 700 years earlier. Over time, stories about this legendary king had grown and changed. In this story, Gilgamesh and his friend Enkidu seek to slay the monster of Humbaba, keeper of a distant forest. In addition to his tremendous size and terrible appearance, Humbaba possesses 7 splendors or powers, one of which is fire. Gilgamesh hopes to claim these powers for himself. As you read, notice both the human qualities and the godly qualities of Gilgamesh. Humbaba came from his strong house of cedar. He nodded his head and shook it, menacing Gilgamesh, and on him he fastened his eye, the eye of death. Then Gilgamesh called to Shamash, and his tears were flowing. Oh, glorious Shamash, I have followed you. I followed the road you commanded, but now, if you send no succor, how shall I escape? Glorious Shamash heard his prayer, and he summoned the great wind, the north wind, the whirlwind, the storm and the icy wind, the tempest and the scorching wind. They came like dragons, like scorching fire, like a serpent that freezes the heart, a destroying flood and the lightning's fork. The 8 winds rose up against Humbaba. They beat against his eyes, and he was gripped, unable to go backward or forward. Gilgamesh shouted, by the life of Nisun, my mother, and divine Lugulbanda, my father, my weak arms and my small weapons I have brought to this land against you. And now I shall enter your house. So he felled the first cedar, and they cut the branches and laid them on the foot of the mountain. At the first stroke, Humbaba blazed out, but still they advanced. They felled 7 cedars and cut and bound the branches, and laid them at the foot of the mountain, and 7 times Humbaba loosed his glory upon them. At the 7th blaze died out, they reached his lair. He slapped his thigh in scorn. He approached like a noble wild bull roped on the mountain, a warrior whose elbows were bound together. The tears started to his eyes, and he was pale. Gilgamesh, let me speak. I have never known a mother, no, nor a father who reared me. I was born of the mountain. He reared me, and Enlil made me the keeper of this forest. Let me go free, Gilgamesh, and I will be your servant. You shall be my lord, and all the trees of the forest that I tended on the mountain shall be yours. I will cut them down and build you a palace. And Enkidu said, do not listen, Gilgamesh. This Humbaba must die. Kill Humbaba first and his servants after. But Gilgamesh said, if we touch him, the blaze and glory of light will be put out in confusion. The glory and glamour will vanish. Its rays will be quenched. Enkidu said to Gilgamesh, not so, my friend. First entrap the bird. And where shall the chicks run then? Afterwards, we can search out the glory and the glamour, and the chicks run distracted through the grass. Gilgamesh listened to the word of his companion. He took the axe in his hand. He drew the sword from his belt. And he struck Humbaba with a thrust of the sword to the neck, and Enkidu, his comrade, struck the 2nd blow. At the 3rd blow, Humbaba fell. Then there followed confusion, for this was the guardian of the forest, whom they fell to the ground. When he saw the head of Humbaba, Enlil raged at him. Why did you do this thing? From henceforth, may the fire be on your faces. May it eat the bread that you eat. May it drink where you drink. Then Enlil took again the blaze and the 7 splendors that had been Humbaba's. He gave the first to the river, and he gave to the lion, to the stone of execration, to the mountain. O Gilgamesh, king and conqueror of the dreadful blaze, wild bull who plunders the mountain, who crosses the sea, glory to him. In Sumerian culture, God's powers were thought to be enormous. According to this story, what roles do gods play in people's lives? Violence was common in Sumerian society. How does the character of Gilgamesh suggest that Sumerian society could be violent? And archaeologists think that this statue from the 700s BC represents Gilgamesh. What effect does Humbaba hope that its words will have on Gilgamesh? And the angry god Enlil curses the heroes for slaying Humbaba. He takes back the monster's powers and gives them to other creatures and elements of nature. In your opinion, is Gilgamesh more or less heroic, for slaying Humbaba and angering Enlil.